Hi, I'm Dr. Ritika Goyal and I'm a pediatric chest specialist in New Delhi. Today we're going to discuss about a very common infection in Indian population, and that is tuberculosis. Tuberculosis, as we all know, is a bacterial infection caused by a bacteria called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. This bacteria usually spreads by droplet infection. By droplet infection, I mean whenever an infected person coughs, small droplets of cough along with this bacteria released into the airway. When a normal individual or a child inhales these droplets, this bacteria goes inside the lungs and lodges itself over there. Most of the time, the bacteria lives there in the lungs without causing any active disease. This type of tuberculosis is called latent TB infection, where the bacteria is there in the airways or in the lungs but is not causing any disease. It's lying there, dormant. But whenever there is a dip in the immunity of a person, which can be because of any infection, because of malnutrition, or if a child is on immunosuppressive drugs, in that case, the dormant bacteria lying in the lungs gets active and causes active disease. Tuberculosis affects children as well as adults. Usually, any child who is exposed to a infected individual, whether at home or outside, is at risk of developing tuberculosis infection. The most common organ affected by tuberculosis is the lungs. Children with tuberculosis can present with persistent cough lasting for more than 2 weeks, and along with that, they may have generalized weakness, loss of appetite, and significant loss of weight. Sometimes children can produce sputum, and sometimes they may not. In rare cases, there may be some blood spots in the sputum as well. Some children with plural form of tuberculosis can have chest pain. These children often complain of evening rise of temperatures, but this problem is seen more in older kids who are more than 10 years old. Other forms of tuberculosis, other than the pulmonary tuberculosis, children can have neck swellings where the lymph nodes in the neck are infected with tuberculosis. Abdominal tuberculosis is another form of TB where children can complain of persistent abdominal pain, maybe constipation, bloating, distension, loss of appetite, significant loss of appetite, and vomitings. CNS TB or neuro TB is also not so uncommon. These children present with seizures or loss of activity or loss of power in one of the limbs. They can also have persistent headache and loss of consciousness. Other rare forms of TB are TB of the skin, TB of the spine, where children can have loss of power or pain, swelling in the spine, TB of the bone and joints. These children come with joint pains or swelling of the bones or even bone pain. If any of these complaints are persistent, lasting for more than 2 weeks, these children must be investigated for underlying tuberculosis. How do we diagnose TB? Most of the time, if we suspect tuberculosis clinically, we ask the patient to get a chest x-ray, which is the first investigation, where we might be able to see any patch in the lung, maybe some fluid accumulated around the lung called pleural effusion. There can be some lymph nodes in the chest called mediastinal lymph nodes, some cavitatory lesion where the lung might have infected areas filled with fluid. These are some of the findings that can be seen on chest x-ray. Along with that, in children who can expectorate sputum, who can give out sputum, we send the sputum to test for the TB bacteria. If the child is not able to give a sputum sample because the child is very young, then we might have to do other investigations to get sputum. For other forms of TB, like abdominal TB and CNS TB, imaging of the respective parts needs to be done, either by an ultrasound, a CT scan, or an MRI scan. Well, tuberculosis is completely treatable. The National Tuberculosis Elimination Program is now highly advanced, and we have good quality drugs available to us for treating TB. Usually, a typical case of tuberculosis is treated by a 4-drug regime given for total 6 months. In some rare cases, we might need to prolong the duration of tuberculosis by another 3 months or maybe a year. Usually, when we treat patients of tuberculosis, we try to get a bacterial confirmation by sending adequate samples for microbiological testing. Once we have the diagnosis of tuberculosis and we start treatment, we ask the patient to follow up regularly, maybe every month, to see the progress of the disease, to see if the disease is going into remission or not, it's getting better or not. And if we see any sign of worsening, then further treatment and further investigations can be decided. We also monitor for any adverse effects of the drugs. As per the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program and as per our experience, tuberculosis is completely curable. We have good quality drugs available to us at all times. So tuberculosis is no more a deadly disease. It is just an infection with complete treatment.